Health Teaching Demonstration.
Good day, everyone. I am Vince Bernard Sirios, your PE instructor for today. So it's nice meeting you all. I hope that each and everyone is doing good. So before anything else, let's have a short prayer first. Okay? Mr. Rios Jomar, can you please lead the prayer?
Sir, ako na lang po.
Yeah, okay, Mr. Palamig.
Tayo po at yumuko ay at manalangin. Lord, thank you po sa araw na ito at binigyan niyo po kami ng lakas at kami po ay inyong ginising para po sa panibagong araw na aming kaharapin. Naway gabayan niyo po kami sa magiging demo po ni Sir at naway kami po ay manatiling ligtas. Yun lamang po ang aming samit dalangin sa matamis na pangalan ni Jesus sa amin.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Palamig. So before we start, let me tell you first my class rules that you need to follow. First, be on time. I want all of you to join our gym meet 5 minutes before the scheduled time. And second is keep your camera on so that I will know if you're still there and listening. And third, have a dress code. So as a students, even if this in an online class, we need to dress properly for us to look presentable. And fourth is if you have some question or clarification, just open your mic and say permission to speak, ma'am or sir. And for the fifth is be attentive and participative. So your participation in this meeting will serve as your performance in this class. Is that clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So for now, let's move on to the checking of attendance. So for the checking of attendance, comment your name in the section in the comment section with the word that describe you. For example, Rios Vince Bernard C3. So you have 30 seconds to comment your name and the timer starts now. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, time's up, class. So before we formally start our last topic, our lesson, let's have a recap first. So I will ask question about our last topic so that I will know if you still remember. Okay? So for the first question, what is our last topic all about? Anyone? Anyone? What is our
Permission to speak, sir.
okay, Miss Lakasandile?
Our topic last meeting is all about dressing and bandages.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. That is dressing and bandages. Okay, for the next question, what are the two phases of bandaging? Anyone?
Sir,
Miss Loreto?
the two phases of bandaging is open face bandaging and cravat bandaging.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. That is open face bandaging and cravat face bandaging. Okay, next. What are the five kind of open wounds? Anyone?
Sir,
Okay, Mr. Balagtas.
as far as I remember, the five kinds of open wound is puncture, abrasion, incision, lacration, and avulsion.
Okay,
Ay,
let's
installation pala.
see if your answer is correct. The answer is puncture, abrasion, incision, laceration, and avulsion. Avulsion. So now, very good class. It seems that all of you are still remember our last topic. So let's now proceed to our new topic. But before that, let's play a game first. It is called Guess the Picture. In the direction, answer the following pictures that I will show in the PowerPoint presentation. So these are four pictures that create a words. Students will comment his or her name in the comment section completely in our chat box. First and has a chance to answer the given pictures, the students who will give the correct answer will get 10 pesos in GCash. Okay? For the first picture, okay, Mr. Palaming, let's see if your answer is correct. That is carrying. So for the next picture, okay, Miss Lakasandile, let's see if your answer is correct. That is transporting. Very good. For the next picture, okay, Mr. Balagtas, let's see if your answer is correct. That is injury. Okay. For the next picture, okay, Miss Loredo, let's see if your answer is correct. That is person. Okay. So very good class and thank you for participating in our games. So I hope that all of you enjoyed it. So for the winners, PM your GCash number and I will send later your reward. So congrats to all winners. So based on the activity that we do, what do you think is our topic for today? Anyone?
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Balagtas?
I think based on the picture, our topic for today is all about carrying and transporting an injured person.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. That is carrying and transporting an injured person. So, transporting an injured person, transporting an injured person to a safer place requires great care. So a first aider must undergo proper training. So when doing this, a first aider must consider the following factors, which is first, weight and height of the victim. So we need to check our victim if we can carry them by seeing in their height and body. And for the second is status of the victim. So before we carry the victim, let's check first their status if they are conscious of unconscious. And third is environment. So we need to check the environment to know if this is safe or the floor is smooth. And for the last is special need consideration or injuries of the victims. So there are different kinds of transporting. So we have a fireman's carry, four-handed seat carry, and shoulder drag and pack strap carry, and blanket drag carry. So let's let's tackle first the fireman's carry. Um, Mr. Balagtas, would you please lead the prayer? Would you please can you please read?
Yes, sir. Fireman scary. The hardest way to transport a light and smaller victim.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Balagtas. So, sa fireman carry, this technique is for carrying a victim longer distances. So, it is a very difficult to get the person up to this position from the ground. So, getting the victim into position requires a very strong rescuer or an assistant. The victim is carried over one shoulder. So, the rescuer arm on the side that the victim is being carried is wrapped across the victim's leg and grabs the victim opposite arm for you to better understand how to do the fireman carry. This is the video example. Okay, that is the fireman's carry. So next is let's move on in a four-handed seat carry. Can you please read Miss Loredo?
Four-handed seat carry is both bearers position themselves behind the casualty and face each other.
Thank you, Miss Loredo. So this technique is for carrying conscious and alert victim moderate distances. So the victim must be able to stand unsupported and hold themselves upright during transport. For the first step, position the hands as indicated in the graphic. Lower the seat, allow the victim to sit and lower the seat using your legs, not your back. And for the second step, when the victim is unplaced, stand using your legs and keep your back straight. It is the it is the here is the video example on how to do your 400 seat carry. So here is the video. Okay, that is the 400 seat carry. And let's move on to the shoulder drag. Would you please read Miss Lakasandili Ira?
Shoulder drag, used when the floor is smooth, short distance transport.
Okay, thank you, Miss Lakasandile. So shoulder drag, it supports the head of the victim. So the negative is that requires the rescuer to bend over at the waist while pulling. So for the first step, grasp the victim by the clothing under the shoulders. Keep your arms on both sides of the head and support the head. Second step is try to keep the pull as straight and in line as possible. So here is the video example of shoulder drag. Okay, that is the shoulder drag. Let's move on to the pack strap carry. Would you please read Mr. Palaming?
Backstrap carry when the victim is smaller than the first aider.
Thank you, Mr. Palaming. So, pack strap carry when injuries makes the fireman carry unsafe. This method is better for longer distances than the one person leap. So for the first step, place both the victim arms over the shoulders, cross the victim arms, grasping the victim's opposite wrist, and pull the arms close to your chest. For the second step is squat slightly, then drive your hips into the victim while bending slightly at the waist. Then balance the load on your hips and support the victim with your legs. This is the video example of backstrap carry. Okay, that is the backstrap carry. So let's move on to the blanket drag. Would you please read Mr. Rios Jomar? Mr. Rios Jomar?
Sir,
Okay.
blanket drag. Used when the victim is seriously injured and shoulder not be lift.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rios. So, last is blanket drag. So, blanket drag, this is a kind of carry that you place the victim on the blanket by using the log roll. So, or the three-person lift. For the first step, the victim is placed with the head approx 2 feet from one corner of the blanket. Wrap the blanket corners around the victim and keep your back as straight as possible. So for the second step, use your legs, not your back, by pulling and try to keep the pull as straight in line as possible. So this is the video example of blanket drag. Okay, that's the example of blanket drag. So that's the end of our discussion. Do you have any question, class?
None, sir.
Okay. If you
Thank
don't have any question and to see if you really understand our topic, get ready everyone because I will call the student to execute the different kinds of transporting so that we tackled earlier. In doing this, you don't need a victim for you to carry. Instead, you can use pillow as a substitute. So I will give you 30 seconds to find a pillow at the and the timer starts now. Okay? Okay, time's up. So for the first execution, For the fireman's carry, please turn on your camera, Miss Loredo, and execute the fireman's carry. Okay, very good, Miss Loredo. And for the second execution, let's Mr. Jomar, please turn on your camera and execute the shoulder drag. Mr. Jomarius.
Wait lang, sir.
Okay. Please turn on your camera. Okay.
Hawakan mo kaya?
Okay. Next. For the pack strap carry, would you please turn on your camera, Miss Ira Lacasandile? Okay, that's right, Miss Ira Lacasandile. And for the next is blanket drag. So, Mr. Balagtas, would you please turn on your camera and execute the blanket drag? Mr. Balagtas, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay na po, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Balagtas. So, very good class. It seems that all of you can execute the different kinds of transporting. So now, let's have a Q&A about the discussion earlier. So when I call your name, open your mic and read the question and then answer it, okay? So for the first question, Mr. Balagtas, can you please read the question and answer?
In what emergency situation can we apply these transporting techniques? Well,
What is
for
your
me,
answer?
sir, we can apply it when there's a fire, earthquake, and other natural disaster, and
Okay,
when other person is injured during that natural disaster.
let's see if your answer is correct. So when there is a fire, earthquake, and other natural disaster. That's right. And for the next question, Miss Loredo.
Yes, sir. What are the five different kinds of transporting? So, the five different kinds of transporting is fireman's carry, four-handed seat carry, shoulder drag, pack strap carry, and lastly, blanket drag.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. Okay, that's right. The fireman's carry, four-handed seat carry, shoulder drag, and pack strap carry, and also the last is the blanket drag. So for the next question, Miss Lacasandile.
The topic we discussed today is about carrying and transporting an injured person.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. Okay, that's right. That is the carrying and transporting an injured person. So for the last question, Mr. Palaming?
Transporting an injured person to a safer place requires great care. A first aider must undergo proper training. When doing this, a first aider must consider the four factors. What are these four factors? The four factors is weight and height of the victim's status of the victim, environment, special need consideration.
Okay, let's see if your answer is correct. That is weight and height of the victim, status of the victim, environment, special need consideration. That's right. So, very good, everyone. I am happy that all of you are participating until the end of our discussion. So, for your performance task today, all of you will do an activity called Thinking of Others. So, if you were the SK chairman, chairwoman, if your barangay will your offer first aid skills training to the youth of the community, why and how will you do this. So for the instruction, present an action plan to be to a plan to the class with the following parts. So goals, target, participant, resource, person, guest speaker, and venue. So, estimate budget, desired outcomes. So, your activity is extended for 1 week. You will write your activity in a yellow paper on a bond paper and submit it in Gmail. This is my Gmail here. That is my Gmail, riosbinsbernard09@gmail.com. Is that clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that's the end of our discussion. For your assignment, look the wait. Here is the rubrics of the activity. So for your assignment, look this picture and observe. So for the instruction, do an advanced reading about first aid for common unintentional injuries. So you can see it in your book Physical Education and Health page 356. So before we end in this meeting, I would like to leave an inspirational quote. Don't stop when you're tired, stop when you're done. So that's all for today, class. Thank you for all your efforts and see you all next week, class dismiss.
Thank you,
Bye,
sir.
sir.
Bye, sir.